We heard you loud and clear, community, and so here we are. Welcome to the Garena Call of Duty Mobile Community Gladiators 2026 BR Duo. You heard that right. Yep, for you Battle Royale aficionados out there, this is it. Bring you the action. Yours truly, my name is Pika, joined by Super Clark. And yes, I think I have said exactly what we needed to say here to begin our day, Super Clark.
Yep, and this is going to be interesting. Aside from the fact that you guys are really waiting for the
Yes.
BR mode, though
Yes.
we're going to start our day for Duo, and I believe 100% that you guys know all of the players who will be playing for BR Duo.
Or at least thus far, we're going to have some surprises here. I am certain. Not only that, Super Clark, throughout the entirety of our Community Gladiators BR, we're not just going to go with isolated here. So we're also most likely than not jumping into Blackout. So that is one of my favorites, honestly. Blackout is one of those maps that I personally feel needs a bit more recognition, if not already.
Yep, because there's going to be a huge map to play in, the Blackout map. You can do a lot of things, and before you do a lot of things, this is our schedule. We started with qualifying round, Feb 12 to Feb 15, and followed by group stage, Feb 18 to 21st, and then right now this is the third day of the playoffs for BR. We are now at the first day of BR mode, Feb 27, and tomorrow would be BR squad.
Oh man, I cannot believe time flew that fast for us, Super Clark. Yesterday we were just riled up about multiplayer, but now here it is. Them drops, them squads, the blame game. Don't listen to me when I say that. 70 duos we started off in our qualifiers. We have trimmed it down to 40, and another 50, 100% almost cut. The 50%
Yeah.
here. And we went straight to our 20 duos who are gonna play 6 solid rounds of BR action. And in case you guys are unaware, this is what is at stake here. 1100 USD for the first place. Second gets 600 and third gets 3. So as you know the drill, guys, if you land at fourth place, unfortunately that is zilch.
Okay, yep, you gotta be aware of the placement if you wanna get some of piece of the 10,000 prize pool, somehow 300, 600, 1100. It's gonna be depending on you. All you have to do right now is be ready in order for you to secure a spot moving into the game and secure the spot of the money.
As for the time being, man, I am thinking so deeply right now because the reception towards multiplayer, sure, really resounding, right? Especially those that are sweats, honestly. And I mean that in the best way. Them sweats who are still on that multiplayer grind, and I'm one of them. But the BR, man. Even if you look back at the comments here, everybody looking for that battle royale sweetness. And speaking of sweetness, right? Love and glory. It is the motif of Community Gladiators here. So, what better way to start off with our duo? Whether or not these are actual partners or just a tandem, for this Community Gladiators, I'm just super excited to see what's at stake.
Yep, and this is going to be interesting because the BR community is looking for this kind of tournament for a very long time. And here we go. COD is definitely listening to all of the players, to all of the communities that we have for COD, and that's why we put some 10,000 prize pool, not only for multiplayer, but also on BR. This is going to be their time to shine.
Yeah, it's funny that we mentioned that because this is actually, yes, folks, the first Battle Royale duo here at Community Gladiators. So this has a lot. This is definitely saying a lot here that we know what you guys are up to. Everybody be listening. And tomorrow's gonna be the nitty gritty. But again, that's tomorrow. Let's stay in the present. Duo. The dynamics, as usual, Super Clark, they're gonna be kind of different.
Yep, and definitely they're just going to think of any classes that it works well
In a
to
duo.
their play styles, because this is a duo that is really different whenever we play on squad. So the map that we will be having for this battle
There
BR
we
duo.
go.
We're gonna start with isolated, blackout, back on isolated, blackout, isolated, and blackout. That's a lot of maps that you can play in BR mode. But yeah, kidding aside, those are the maps. And everyone here from the list from the 20 duos who will be playing tonight. Has a mastery for this map. All of the corners, all of the hills, the mountains, and the best angle that they can have in order for them to have the advantage and getting
Mhm.
more points or somehow getting more kills.
Yeah, for me, the biggest advantage that we have here so far is the fact that we can, or these teams rather, they can actually correct themselves 3 out of 3 maps, right? So, or like every single map here, they have an opportunity to correct their habits. That if whatever they did wrong, they're going to be able to do that a little later on. So that's very interesting to me. I like a long set adjustment. I like when teams and players actually have a little bit of breathing room to be more adaptive, right? Because sometimes you don't get that chance anymore. So in
Right.
this case, we have multiple isolateds and blackouts. I know that these teams are going to be enjoying that,
Yep, I'm so excited to see what's gonna happen, and thank you so much because we just started our live and you guys are already here. So
right?
we really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support on BR community. As we start the first round, once again, this is a match one isolated map.
Mm-hmm. And just to answer your questions, yes, we are repping the Philippines. So in case you guys are curious, you know what to do. We can talk about them socials later. But again, look who is already spoiling us in a matter here. 4K. So if you've been playing BR for quite a while, especially here in our region, you would know who 4K is or are. A matter of fact here. Okay, isolated. Super Clark. I'm gonna be a kid here a little bit. What's your favorite drop point?
Oh, for the isolated frigid wetland because there's a lot of loots
Yeah.
and there's a Snowy as well. So that's the reason I completely understand that there's a lot of players dropping off and choosing the frigid wetland because of the loots that you can have. But it time changes, brother. New
Uh-huh.
Vision City. Wherever you go, bro, you will find any loots.
Oh yeah, you know what? That's correct. The basically the equipment or the hardware has been spread out unevenly, sure, but you're not gonna be getting the same thing every single time. If you guys agree with me, let me know in the chat. Now here we go. We're looking at Team S Plus so far, and yes, on the upper right side of your screen, these are all the participating teams. So show them some love in the comments. Again, we did spoil you a little bit earlier. 4 Kings are definitely here.
Yep, as you can see, top of the list. But right now, going on to the Team B eras, the duos that we have here. So far, so good. Because again, they know already the risk and the stake that they need to, put some importance on, and that's the reason we are not seeing any chaos right away because they. In order for them to somehow get more points, they just really need to make sure that they got all of the attachment, the weapons that they really wanted to use in order for them to have the advantage.
Mhm. And remember, you need to be as cautious as possible here in the sense that only the third place from this entire leg actually gets a prize, Super Clark. Here we go, first blood. And we were just looking at Sean earlier, already taken out by was that Kyle? Yeah, there we go. Kyle TZ. Kyle TZ. Okay.
Okay. One of the best players, Kyle TC, once again from the Poison Ivy Bane. This is a perfect duo on the Poison Ivy Esports fam. So, all of the fans, all of the family of Poison Ivy, this is your chance right now to cheer your duos or your players here because so far, so good. Right off the bat, they're rocking up 2 kills.
Hmm. Moving fast. You know, comparative to how it would be in a full squad, guys, this duo, anything can happen. And remember, as we talked about, yeah, Super Clark a couple days ago when we started off with our multiplayer duo, you gotta be looking over your shoulder every single time, especially if it's a duo. Granted that, of course, backup is not far behind for sure.
Yep, that is definitely true as we are seeing right now. Team P is also out here, and Team B, who will be the best duos in a dormitory map, especially their using this building and a lot of corners that they
Oh,
can play around. Here we go, high ground advantage. Rewind right away because he just discovered that it is not a perfect execution. And right now we are
yeah.
seeing 2v1 situation, and Lomi is onto the ground and they're about to clean out the mess. The trade happening. We go. That's really a great counter from Team P.
Okay, Ackerman also falls, so it's not a good sign. ZG looking quite good here, honestly. I like the pacing here. As we mentioned earlier, they were not after blood immediately. They just had to make sure that they stack up on resources, especially weapons, right? So if there's anything we know about Isolated, there's a formula of the best weapons that you can actually go for. Those 117s have not been appearing so far, Super Clark. So yeah, they're gonna have to innovate so far, right? At
Yep.
least for the time
And
being.
exactly. And checking out the Team E right now, I don't know if they're innovating right here because, again, the goal is to get more loots first, getting a lot of juices from this location, and then after that, upgrade their classes. I'm seeing that they're not yet upgraded, so they just need to get some cash and go to the buy station and upgrade their classes. That's the
Mhm.
goal, and then after that, they're going to scout their opponents, as we are seeing already from Team B. Can you imagine the team errors right now? They got the wings, so you got to be careful. We are seeing Tom Pips from the Four Kings and Yato playing on the first round isolated map. So they decided to somehow create some space, and let's see what's gonna happen next if they're going to close out the gap.
As well, they should. But let's wait. Anything can still happen. It's really early on. We're only at zone one, so a little bit of breather. Oh, okay, so we got our first drop already acquired here. Now that's gonna be big. You know what that means? That is a ton of hardware that they can use, Super Clark, especially healing, and that's really important at this point.
And that is true. And as we see right now, good preparation from the Four Kings folks. We have Tom Pips right here looking at it, upgraded their classes, and they got a lot of cash buying some needed attachments from their weapons. So I don't see any action yet, but looking at it from the team 20 yet, as you can see, the YG Genesis, they upgraded the classes as early as we speak.
Yeah, yeah, precisely. That's huge. And I guess people actually might not put that into account all the time, but upgrades are vital, especially in a 2v2. So the sooner you get to refill, right, you're honestly you get to reload or cool down your abilities, then that already says a lot. That is definitely going to be a difference maker. Here we go. So we're looking at Melvs, I believe, or Cream CB. So tell me something about a QXN right here, Super Clark.
QXN, I don't really know all of the players. This is
Right.
going to be the first time I'm seeing them joining this
Oh,
kind of tournament. Even if there's
likewise.
some of the scrimmages and the major tournaments that I am casting with on BR community. But let's
Mhm.
see how it goes because those are the interesting players. Because if there will be always, there will be always new blood, especially in this generation. We are
Right.
considering ourselves as OGs, and yet we are still enjoying the game. And yep, definitely the expectation will be there's a lot of newbies or new players from this generation. And here we go, as we are showing you the map right now while about to witness the battle from these two teams, QXN fighting against Team Q. Let's see what's going on. Cluster grenade being thrown right away. Let's see, there is still outside of the safe zone, and that's something that they don't really think about because it's just a few damages only that they can get from them staying outside of the zone. The goal is to really get their own loadout. Here we go. He
Uh-oh.
will be confident right now to push him. Med class being activated already. Close quarter battle. Knocked down. Oh my god.
Nice.
Mavs, oh Mavs. Able to finish them off. Good start. 2 kills, annihilation from the group.
Good wipeout already from Team RV, or rather, from Melvs, wiping out Team RV rather. Okay, here we go. Now look at how the circle is shrinking here, Super Clark. We're gonna be pushing everybody towards the middle of the island. So if I'm gonna point my finger here, it looks like people can be lingering a little bit towards overgrown up until. Let's see how that's gonna go. So, okay, never mind. We're gonna hold that thought. We're seeing some of the action here. Of course, Yato has his hands full, taking out Lauren, and now are we seeing who is this? Okay, never mind. Okay, Yato I think is gonna peel out of the situation, or rather, yeah, Tom Pips rather from 4K. Is he in pursuit of Mel still? Yes, I guess
Yep.
so. Yeah.
Poison Ivy, on the other hand, right now trying to connect some fuses with a cloud of smoke being thrown. Great rotation. Can he get a kill? That's going to be too dangerous for him, cracking out that vest right away and able to dodge some of the bullets because of that Snow Bee.
Man, I wish I saw. I wish I saw that pursuit of Mel. But anyways, what's done is done. Here we go. Kyle TZ trying to finish the job here, and he does, taking out Chewy. All right. So, but yeah, there it is. There's the backup, or at least for a knock. It wasn't a full finish just yet. Happy though. Here comes the cavalry.
Okay. So that's really a good gameplay from the Poison Ivy. 5 kills in total. That's insane. And can you
Real
imagine?
fast.
We just started the isolated map, and right now we're moving on to the second zone. And it only means that they got a good points already. The question there, how consistent they are. Oh my God, here we go. ZG is getting closer right now to the team YG and about to be ready using this little house at their advantage. They're hearing some noises from the vehicles. So let's see if they're committed to pushing or not going down the hill.
Hmm. We're gonna wait. We're definitely gonna wait. Okay, has there been information disseminated already from Kyle, for Kyle? Now I'm thinking. We're thinking long and hard. That high ground is definitely gonna bode well for them up until a little bit later, Super Clark, dependent on how the circle goes.
That is definitely true. Poison Ivy still on the move, but you got to be careful though. That's going to be hard to take down Team Deed because they got the high ground. So
Yes.
let's see if that's going to be a good vantage point, or maybe they're going to use their mind, their brain cells to be clever enough to attack the Poison Ivy because of the advantage. Meanwhile, we're seeing Team HG right now knocking down one soldier. Can they complete the annihilation? Because Amor is the only player alive right now. As Cape is trying to be bitter and sweet as well while getting some damages outside of the zone. And definitely the only tools that can help you out to survive outside of the zone would be the zip line.
There we go. Vehicular manslaughter up on Chew. All right. So Chewy rather. Okay. So far it's looking kind of steady. Honestly, Super Clark here on the side of Jules. They had four frags and Sean out of there, by the way. So here we go. Let's swerve a little bit here. Cape and Mech. Hopefully I'm reading that right. Cape and Mech. Oh, okay. Big sight right here for Ven. So ZG a while ago, we didn't see a lot of action, I would say. But getting two frags at least this early on, that's already a good sign. Remember, these points matter, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just the placement. You also got to be able to rack up those eliminations because that's gonna look good on your team resume a little later on in the day.
Absolutely. And we are seeing some other teams right now rotating and about to face the Four Kings. Let's see if Team G will be able to knock down the players of Four Kings, Yato and Tom Pips. So let's see what's going to happen. Oh my God. Tom Pips right now is definitely pushing Oath bound, getting some damages, cracking out that Vez. Can he survive going on to the second level? Here we go. That's going to be a good rotation so far from these players. And with a rewind, because he doesn't have any perfect angle. That's the best counter that you can do. Close one battle to v 1. How
Hey,
can you survive?
there goes the cash. Everything just everything just flying off. Okay, so Mikolot knocked Yato again. These 4K man, come on. These gentlemen are on fire. So we're gonna check up on them a little later on, folks. Oh, okay. We had to see that out of Melbs from that vantage point. Okay, that did not look very shabby.
Oh my God, Poison Ivy, brother. They are on fire. 7 kills
Mm-hmm.
right away. So they just really need to be considerate and be careful enough because they can also strategize and having a good placement. Right now, yep, we are seeing a good performances, knocking down their opponents, keep on winning the gunfights. But at the very end, you have to face a very difficult opponent. The forces to be reckoned with, no other than Four Kings. Oh, high ground. Kudel
Mm-hmm.
trying to connect from afar. Great job, but not enough for him to knock down.
Yeah, I like this. I like this. Recognizing what needs to be done and where you should be, as usual. So here we go. We don't have a lot of teams anymore, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen a lot of these players, a lot of these duos falter under pressure. We are down to our last dozen duos here, Super Clark. So anything can happen. And points are still precious. Let's see how they're gonna break through that top 8 mark.
Right, here we go. We are hearing some chopper roaming around, scouting. Let's see if they're going to go down. Oh, that's really too unfortunate. Huge damage from that chopper. So it only means that they don't have any
Ooh.
choice. That's really a crucial moment where you need to know what to do next if someone attacking you with the miracle SMRS.
Oh boy. It is wacky to look at, but you understand exactly what it's for. So you know what? Mad props, Jules, for the SMR. Speaking of, here we go. So Ain't Show taking out Is Nilon, if I'm reading that right. We also got
Ooh.
a couple frags here, and again, Yato being one of the culprits, as well as Ben taking out Aaron. McCurdy, okay, just trying to take refuge inside that vehicle. Let's see how long that'll last. My goodness. But I think the wiser choice here is not really just to pursue everything. I believe that Ven over here recognizes the need to keep this high ground advantage. There's still like 11 teams.
True. And Yato adding more kill points from his bags. In fact, he's definitely having a total of 4 and great performances already right off the bat from the 4 Kings. And we are about to end the first round isolated map. We are moving on to the 5th zone. So all of the players right now will be forced to, attack each other because they don't have any choice because of the space that they're in already inside of the circle.
Man, the last time I checked, actually, it was supposedly Kill House, right? Or at least it's close to Kill House that these players are actually going to encounter each other. So maybe, just maybe, later it will be the Hall of Judgment, if so to speak. Here we go. More violence left and right here. We have Rem and Zian getting their hands full. And Curdy was flushed out of that vehicle, Super Clark.
Absolutely, and that's really, I can say it's a bad idea because you are pushing in on a 2v1 situation. I don't know what to say on that one. I can only say that you are brave. But yeah, boys and I, once again, high ground, good vantage point, brother.
Okay, let's see. Let's wait for it. Again, I like this. Jules and Kudo right here, making sure that they're within each other's ranges. That way, response will be fast, will be swift, and will be effective. Here we go, Yato. Okay, a lot of silence going on. I'm pretty sure that these shoulder shots are. Oh, yep, information for sure. I'm pretty sure that Kudo already saw Yato surrounding the vicinity.
Let's see what's gonna happen right now. Is being quiet, going outside of the zone. Does some other esports happy? Can be happy enough to be crowned as champion on the match one, or he will be sad. Who knows? That's something that we need to find out. But Jules and Kudo really working well in terms of their possession. That's a good thinking out there. Being tactical, they just really need to do some long range, as you can see, popping off the sniper.
Right, the zone is gonna start to hurt here, Super Clark. This is not a joke anymore. Down to our last 8 teams. Now points are important. Placement is paramount here, folks. Okay, good good perspective here from Zairu. Has to go for the rotation. Remember, the zones are closing in. They have to make sure they are within the play zone. Oh, dang. Zairu again. This is what we're talking about. Those self-inflicted damages. That's real important. Yato as well, dragged by the zone. Uh-oh. And Chewy, we're taking names left and right here, Super Clark.
All right, and it's going to be the crucial moment from all of the players as Jules getting a huge damage staying outside of the zone. Kudo and Jules are also still outside of the zone, and that's going to be a gatekeep performance and opportunities for Sierra. And here we go. Let's see if he can connect some few shots. And here we go. That's something that he can take advantage of. Oh, Desperado? Come on, man. All right, let's see how effective it is. But right now, we are only seeing 7 duos, 11 soldiers on boots.
Man, and again, this is what we're talking about. Medicals, right? Being a medic here is so important. Let's see if Jules' support here is gonna be of actual use because the HP is withering down and quick. Oh my goodness, no, no. And Kudo is of a different class as well.
Right, here we go. Oh, close quarter. That's the one that I'm talking about. Although he's outside of the zone, he managed to get a kill
Yeah,
point.
good
That's a
pickoff.
surprise right there. And Kudo, let's see if Kudo get cracking out at this. Oh, use them. It's a good thing he got a Snowy, but the two players, Yato and Top Hips, are still out there. You gotta be careful. Those are the pro players that we have in duo. Here we go. They're about to push in. Kudo is the only target that we are seeing right here. Can he survive? Knock that right away. What a shot coming out from Top Pips. And Team T against Four Kings. Who will be the best duo right now?
Three duos left here, folks. Anything can happen. One wrong call and it is all over. Tom Pips, Yato, still in this. Oh my goodness. Okay, okay. Got the defenders up. And you said it yourself. We got the Desperado up and a rewind
Ooh.
here. Of course, it's a rewind.
Oh my God, Top
Boom!
Pips getting that get annihilation. Oh, as you can see, they're rocking 13 kills in total right now, and they got a good placement. And they only have one target left. And that's going to be hard for the Team BZG Ven. Rotating right now using this.
Oh, I'm already calling it.
That's a use damage. So
I'm already calling it.
Definitely. Four Kings, bro. Four Kings is the king of isolated map.
For match number 1, that is. So, of course, we showed you there was a premonition per se that when we saw them before they even dropped Four Kings. And there's a name, there's a reason that name is up there. So congratulations. That is how we begin our BR duo. That was quick, folks. That was actually quick.
Yep, if you're saying it's quick, what more in the blackout map?
Oh man. Oh
It's
man.
it's a really huge map. A lot of spaces to work with, so we might be seeing a lot of vehicles being used. But before we talk about a lot of blackout map, congratulations to the Four Kings getting the first win on isolated map. That was really, dominant gameplay from the Four Kings, and clearly they showcase already their individual prowess.
Yeah, they did. So apart from that, we did see some notables, right? We're gonna check out that in a little bit, care of the highlights. But what I'm enjoying here so far, Super Clark, is the fact that again it's isolated. It's so classic, seeing all these duos go through different strategies and use different approaches. Like say, not everybody went for high ground immediately. Not immediately, at least. So that's really important because what if, sure, in the pursuit of getting to high ground, you give away your position or somebody's already there. So, and we did see a number of teams already get to the said high grounds at a very, very early. They lasted a little bit, but eventually they're forced to flush out. They're forced to leave. So, again, isolated, man. It brings back so much nostalgia.
Oh geez, isolated map, definitely. And I just wanted to say I love their approach. I love their strategy because if I think the metas right now is defender, that's the reason we are seeing some
Yes,
Desperado to
right?
counter the defender. Although the classic class is rewind. Well, it works every
I mean,
time. It clearly works every time.
Rewinds. And again, defender shield always. It's always there because I believe in the clutchest of clutch moments. That defender shield is definitely gonna save your life. But the Desperado is it's so funny because the one glimpse I had of the Desperado, the turret especially, it was just somebody crossing. It was really somebody crossing and oh wow, okay, you definitely picked Desperado. Smoke, of course. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see that every now and then, but it really was. It really was the defenders and the rewinds.
Right. There we go. So that's the action of the first round isolated map. And as we are patiently
go.
waiting for the next match, we're going to show you the match rankings. As you can see right here, true enough, Four Kings being crowned as king on isolated map with a total of 29, clearly dominating the first round. And Errors is also right there. And Poison Ivy, this is the one that I'm talking about. If you're getting a lot of kills already, all you got to make sure is to be part of the top 3 so that your kills won't be wasted.
And I did mention that, Super Clark, placement points, they really matter. So you might want to try to get into that top 4 as much as possible. Those are sizable points. You see that there's no difference, or there's actually the same exact points for Poison Ivy and YG Genesis, just because there are differentials in the frags and the placement. So you're gonna want to go for those points, right? Very, very important. Now it's so early to tell, but most of our teams are, they have the chance to go for that rebound. They're gonna go for that run back. Should blackout be that map? If again, what if there are
Yeah.
these teams again, as we mentioned, Super Clark, that do not like this or do not find comfort in blackout?
Yep, and
That
that's
must
the
not
reason
be.
why we keep on seeing a lot of different strategies whenever we play
Yes.
in a blackout map because there's a lot of, I should say, needs to consider. Although there's a lot of buildings that you can play, but I can say that is also an isolated building because again,
Yeah.
before you will be able to rotate, it will take some time for you to be on the rotation. It will be some time for you to be on the different buildings, right? So that's why a lot of players will be using some vehicles on a blackout map. Plus the fact we will be seeing again SMRS, FHJ,
Yes.
Sniper. Those are
Yes.
the key roles that we might be seeing moving on to the round two blackout map. And let me give you some background story, Pika. Four Kings keeps on dropping off to the construction site building. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's their turf. Now, the question there, if any duos will be challenging them,
There we
if
go.
Four Kings will be dropping off to the construction site.
Yeah, it's a habit. It's a habit of sorts for Four Kings. And again, it's almost the same as how this isn't isolated. Sometimes people drop in kill house, but if you're aware that there will be teams who are worthy of challenging, or if there are teams who are more into the equipment, then